Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Not Everybody Needs a Podcast with your host, Mackenzie Rencher. And I have a special guest with me today. You guys seen him many times before. My husband, Darian Rencher.
What?
Welcome.
Thank you for that amazing introduction.
I'm overstimulated right now for so many reasons. One, I've had 4 shots of espresso. That's the number one. 2, the shirt. I literally feel like there's ants crawling on my skin. The sides of them, if you're not watching, keep coming off. And it's supposed to be like a corset, so it's supposed to be tight.
But that's how it's supposed to be. Isn't that? That's not the look?
Well, you know what? I actually can't say yes or no because I need to go back and look at the picture on Revolve to know. I don't think it's supposed to do this. I think it's supposed to be tight.
No, I don't. I think
you think it's supposed to be on the side?
Yeah. Because when you stand up,
all of a sudden
right
I'm
now
healed.
it's a little. It's like, but when you stand up and you're walking, like
it looks weird.
No, it looks how it looks. That's how it's supposed to look.
Okay, but my heart's racing too fast. I've had too much caffeine. And on the way here, I actually got my hair done this morning. Stop, guys. I know it's the first thing you notice. Stop. Wait, did you like it?
I do like it.
She added a little pop of color in the front.
A little light.
But we overall kept it like normal.
I like it.
But on the way
Wait,
here.
you said like, was that your decision or like you said like she just told you to do
No,
it?
she just did it and she didn't tell me.
Why?
I'm playing a prank on you.
What?
I'm kidding.
You asked
We
for
decided
it.
together.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be like somebody ever come out here and be like, I'm just gonna give this dude not what he asked for. I'd be like, wait, what? What do you mean? You just fade him all the way?
We talked through it beforehand, but it's very subtle.
Like give summer. I feel like
it's like summer, and then like whenever September hits, dark, black even.
I like it.
Don't you think?
I do. You look pretty.
Thanks, babe. But I was on the way home from this appointment, and I did go to my favorite coffee shop, and I looked and I realized that my fuel has been on low for the last 3 times I've been in the car. And I was like, am I going to make it home? I don't know. But I already was late to recording this podcast. So I was all stressed. I was like, do I try to make it home? But I know the next time I get in that car, it's breaking down on mile 1. So I was like, you know, I have to get my gas now. And then here I am out of breath, greasy. My legs are ashy. You know what? Matter of fact, do you mind handing me that blue blanket?
Why?
I just want to cover everything up.
Nobody's looking at your kneecaps.
Darian, please. I also just want to be comfy. Like, I just feel like choppy right now.
What?
I feel like choppy, chunky.
I was gonna tell you Ashley, but you don't never listen. Like,
I know.
I feel like
Darian really does try to save me before I leave the house. And like, I'm always like, I don't care. But then once I'm out, I'm like, I look a mess.
You don't look a mess. It's just.
You think?
Yeah, I just feel like white people be letting themselves slide with the ashiness.
You might be right because I surely do be leaving the house with ashy.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I feel like growing up, I don't like even feeling ashy. Like I just feel weird when I don't have lotion on. If I'm like,
but the thing is it's not that I feel dry. If I felt dry, I would be like, oh, I have to put lotion on immediately. In the winter, I'm pretty good about lotion because I just feel dry.
Mm-hmm.
But in the summer, I'm just
sweating. I'm just
naturally ashy.
It's been hot too. Oh my gosh.
Also, the weather's been weird. Every single night, it's been storming horribly, and then you wake up the next day, everything's fine.
I know.
Luckily, it hasn't been raining towards the day, in the middle of the day though, because I feel like it cuts the things you can do with your kids in half, even though it's too hot to go outside anyway.
Correct. The time is a lot slower when it's raining.
Like, I agree.
When it's
we don't have the option to like go outside for a walk.
You just look at these kids and like, well, y'all are up for the next 3-4 hours. Like,
what are we gonna do with y'all?
I mean, we can't watch TV, but only for so long, and then we can't really go anywhere. And it's like we've already read this book like 20 times.
It will spiral you.
Yeah.
I was telling them last time that you watched your first episode of Love Island and perhaps your last.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more like a distant cousin to the show. Like people are married to it. I'm not like really married to Love Island. I'm more like, it's cool. I'll see you when I see you type of situation. Just because I feel like I just can't. I just don't want to feel like it's healthy to intake all that.
That's why I stopped.
Like the whole time. I don't think like, because I'll ask you, like I'll see, also I feel like I get the highlights, like even with sports, like sometimes I don't watch the game, but I'll see the highlights to where I get the gist of what's going on. Like with the show, like I kind of knew the characters and everybody before I even watched that first show with you. Because I was like, okay, I see Huda, I see Jeremiah.
You kind of see the highlights, which I'll keep up with the highlights. I did watch the episode the other night because I realized like there was no challenges or whatever. I just feel like it's a lot of time. You're investing a lot of time a week to it.
It's an hour.
Sometimes they're longer.
Yeah, but even daily, like I'm like, I don't know if I have an hour of my time I want to commit to this being.
No, because then like my room's a mess and I'm just watching. Okay, can we just pause? Can we pause? If you guys hear Terry and I are like looking at each other like, wow, because wait, can I start over?
Or I can just fill in right here.
I just
Mackenzie couldn't get out that our grass is being cut right now. And so like it was just kind of like
I just had a brain spasm.
Yeah, we just really tried to.
Sorry,
this is always good timing because our kids. This is like during nap time.
Also, he always comes on Tuesdays. The guy that cuts our grass, he comes I think once a month or something, or every other week.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, and he usually comes on Tuesdays. It's definitely a Thursday, so I don't really know why he's out there buzzing around. But if you guys hear that, just ignore it. Anyway, because then like your room's messy, and you're like, oh, I have time for Love Island, but like, why is there laundry on my floor? Like, grow up.
Yeah, I like watching shows whenever I'm doing stuff too. Like I can do stuff while I'm watching the show. I think for me, it's more so just like it really is just kind of freaked out. Like it's really freaked out because like
why are we all making out with each other?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna make a post about this at some point, but like my take on the whole thing is it makes me just question the overall American IQ. That's really why I get to it. I'm like, because I really see people really invested to the point I'm like, do you really believe? Are you playing the bit? Like some people, I can tell. I got some friends that make content. It's just more so like
it's just fun for them.
It's just fun. It's entertainment. We're all laughing. But some people are really invested to the point where they believe this is how this is reality. This is reality, and this is how you actually find love. I'm like, if you want to find love, do the exact opposite of what you see on Love Island.
Maybe don't make out with everybody.
Don't make out with everybody. Don't explore. Like, give one girl your attention or one person your attention. Actually, like, be committed to them. Yeah, like, don't
make out with her friend and not tell her.
And yeah, don't just even just have all these things in person. Like, what are we doing? Like,
but also like Serena and Cordell went through all that last season, and they actually are still in love a year later.
But my thing is, I feel like that is like not the like. It's like what do they say? Like they're the exception to the rule. Like and I also think that. I think it's some of it. These people also know it's gonna be good for the brand. Like it is kind of a game, but it's for the masses to me. Like the people on the show, I really think they have a little more common sense than they give off. I feel like they're just playing into it. Like, do I think that's the best way to find love? No, but I think they're just more so like, I'm here for a good time. I'm playing to the bit.
A lot of them are there for the 100K and some fame.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not against that. It's just the majority of people who are watching and they really think that this is how you find love. I'm like, this is not
how you find love
at all. This ain't it.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think, like, I got to the point where I was just fast forwarding the challenges because I'm like, this is literally just like everyone making out with each other, and why? For what?
Yeah, it's just also like, dang, like
test our connection.
It's just like overly like, just
that TikTok of that guy being like, Love Island is freaked out, and like y'all are about it, Diddy, but here they are like making out with each other.
No,
like,
seriously, like. I don't know, like, what kind, even like, I'm like thinking, like, was college like this? And like, maybe college was crazy, but they wasn't, anything I saw in college, it wasn't nothing like what I'm seeing on Love Island. It's like, this is like freaked out. Like, y'all
it's too much.
It's
like, I wish it was like toned down and
it's like spring break, like times 10. Like, whatever you think a college spring break would be, that's what Love Island is. Yeah,
it just got to be a lot. And also, I was just like, if I need to be cleaning my house. I just don't want to be like, spending 6 hours a week doing this. I was like, I need to create some space between me and Love Island. Yeah. But you know, I've been seeing the highlights, and I thought that we had like many more weeks until the end. There's still like, I mean, there's only like a week left.
I think
so.
The finale's
next
like
Saturday.
40 episodes. It was an episode 20, 30. I'm like, how many episodes is this thing? I've never seen a show have this many episodes.
No, it's so many episodes, but it's almost over, so that's crazy. But and also no one's in love, so tough. Yeah.
I think I'm just going for the person who people I just like. It's just like not even like
it's unproblematic and
no, I'm not. I'm unproblematic. I'm more so just some people I think on the show are just cornballs. I'll tell you, like this dude's a cornball.
Yeah,
like, the people left on the show, I just think some dudes are just normal. Like I could see me having a normal conversation with you.
And you want them to win, but they're gone, unfortunately.
I really feel like I could see Ace, even though people think he's great. I feel like I can see he's like a normal human being to me. Someone who's on the show, I'm like, bro, you cap. Like everything you're saying is just so corny. I kind of
they make them say certain words. Though.
I do, but even still, you can kind of peep a little authenticity. Like I kind of like Pepe a little bit. Like he's like,
oh, he seems sweet.
He seems like normal to me. Like he's just like,
yeah, I think he's just a normal dude.
Some other guys, I'm like, bro, y'all are just weird.
Some people that we know were asked to be on it, and it just didn't work out. And I want nothing more than to see somebody that we know on there. But then isn't that kind of weird because of what we just talked about? Like,
what?
I don't know, just watching them, like,
I think people that we would know would definitely have the same, like,
I guess.
they would be in it to win it. More
Right.
so than any of the other stuff. They would be in it to win it.
Okay, moving forward to things more innocent.
Yeah.
Kaysen took his first steps yesterday.
He did.
And it was the sweetest moment. We got on video. I honestly was just like, let's just try. Let's see if he'll walk.
I know you did push it. I'm usually the one to push it. He did.
Yeah, because we were pushing him on this little wagon. He had his little hands on there. And I was like, let's just see if he'll like walk. Let's just try. And the first time we tried with him, he started taking his little steps. I was like, oh my gosh.
He gets so excited. It's honestly the opposite. When Beckham's first steps, you weren't even here. It was me and two of my friends at the house. Remember that? When Beckham took her first steps, I sent you the video.
Okay, yes, her real first steps.
And she was like actually crying. She was so scared.
Oh.
Like she was like, what am I doing? This man Kaysen like got his first steps.
He's so happy,
like,
which honestly is their personalities.
I know.
Like she's not scared, but she's like very like
cautious.
And she doesn't really love change that much.
Yeah.
Like we do the same stuff with her and she's like very okay with her. Like
Kaysen be down for whatever.
He is just down for the ride. Anything Sissy's doing, he's down.
Yeah.
It's sweet. But yeah, we have a little walker. I don't know when he'll actually be walking.
I mean,
I give it another few weeks.
I mean, once they get it, it's just more so the balance. Probably, yeah, next couple weeks.
He's been standing on his own for like a week now.
Yeah.
And I feel like, well, first of all, we're also planning his first birthday and the theme is so freaking cute. I cannot wait to show you guys. And I've been working hard on that because I'm doing it by myself. Normally I have Tori help us with our big parties and she does a lot of it and I just mostly give her the vision and like what I want and like specifics and then she like really makes it happen, but I'm doing it on my own and I'm scared. And also things are freaking expensive and I'm scared of that too. I'm like told Darian a budget and I'm really going to try to stick to it.
We'll see.
But we're already over it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Anything for my man's first birthday.
I know. I'm like, we can't go all out for, I just made a TikTok about this, how like the more kids people have, people are like, oh, we don't care. We'll give them some balloons and call it a day. But I'm like, I want to give the same energy to all our kids.
Yeah, it's also just like, it's for the kids. It's also just for like, I just like getting people together for like something good, a good cause. And so I love just having friends and family together. And
Me too.
if we're going to do it, like we always say, we might as well.
Might as well do it big if we can.
Yeah, if we can.
And I know that it's mostly for us, but he will have fun. Like we have a lot of toddler fun activities.
Yeah.
And wait, saying toddlers make me sad.
I thought toddlers too.
Toddlers 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually I think it might be, I don't know if it's exactly 12 months. It might be earlier, but you're considered a toddler for sure after 1.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
2 toddlers are toddlers.
I know.
I kind of feel like he's already a toddler though. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I'm. So I actually had a talk about this with my friends, but the whole like being sad that they're getting older, I had that back with Beckham a little bit, but I feel like I just skipped out on that because I love watching her grow so much. And like every season, she's more and more fun. So
yeah, I don't think I hit the like. I see it on TikTok sometimes where people, to me, it's sweet to look back. I don't really get sad. I don't really wish. I feel also they're still so young to me. I don't.
They need us for so much longer.
Also, to me, I can't even miss who Beckham was because that's who Kaysen is now.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like to think of like
we already have that age.
Yeah, I'm looking at the younger version because Kaysen is now walking and all this stuff. So maybe when they get a little older, I might miss when they were like.
We will for sure.
Yeah, but right now I feel like I'm enjoying where Beckham is, and then where Beckham used to be is where Kaysen is.
Yeah,
I don't really miss either one of them being like just a little person.
But I think for me, parenthood just gets better and better, so it's hard for me to be like, he's 1. I'm so sad. Like, of course, I love him as a baby, but I also look forward to everything because I've seen it before, and I'm like, the first time he tells me he loves me, and like first time he's like, "Mommy, I need this" or whatever. Like those moments are so special and haven't happened yet, so I'm fine with those kind of passing. But like I just am taking it for everything for what it is. Like I love him right now and I look forward to the future. But you know, I'm just him turning 1. Of course, I'm like my baby's gone and now I have a toddler. But at the same time, I'm like there's so much to look forward to and I can't wait for the future too. Also, the other day I was unable to take Beckham to swim lessons because I was at my friend's run club that she started because she was raising money for a marathon. And I wanted to be there for her. So my mom took her so that Darian could be here for Kason whenever he was putting him down, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So after some lessons, she took her to Chick-fil-A. And my mom told me that Beckham's just so unique. Like, she has the biggest personality. She's just the sweetest kid. And they were in line, and she's been getting very into dips, like ranch, mayo, barbecue sauce. She's a big dipper. Just like her parents, we're sauce people. But anyway, she was in line and someone was like yelling at, not like yelling, but just yelling back at their mom or whatever, like, do you want a milkshake? And Beckham, obviously she was not talking to Beckham, and she was like yelling at her friend or her family, whatever. And Beckham goes, yes, I want a milkshake and ranch. And I don't know if it's as funny to people that are her parents, but when you think about Beckham yelling back at her, yes, I want a milkshake and ranch. She's never even had a milkshake. I don't think. She doesn't even know what that is.
I mean, we might give her something, but still.
She just, also some things that she knows about, I'm like, who taught you this?
I know.
Like, you're only around us, and we don't, like, we never taught you milkshake.
But Miss Rachel be teaching. I mean, it'd be a mix of like other conversations, like her
she soaks in everything.
Yeah. And then she'll say something to me. I'm like, well, when did you learn what that is?
Yeah, she's just so smart. But anyway, I had to tell that story because it's too funny. But I feel like something that Darren and I have been talking about a lot recently is how this is like a really serious turn into based off what we were just talking about. But anyway, Darren and I have been talking about how like comparison ruins so much in life, and just how like we're not like holding each other accountable. We're just kind of talking about how like we don't care to compare ourselves to people anymore, and like kind of how we got here. And I feel like I recently just went through a time period where I guess I kind of still am going through it. It's not like I'm completely over it, but where I was just comparing myself a lot to people, mostly just like people on the internet, which I think is a natural thing as you scroll or whatever. And I don't think it was an intentional thing until like I made it an intentional thing to where I was like, oh, what is this person doing? Like, how is this person successful? Or like, what do they have going on? And as I was doing that, I feel like it like took so much away from what I love about like my job and just my life in general.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it. You were like, yeah, same. And we kind of like came to the conclusion that not that we're going to like stop doing that, but just be more conscious about it. And so I feel like that's a good thing to talk about, of just comparison in general, because we're all online. And I mean, even if you're not online, I feel like even if you're in conversations at work or even listening to this podcast, like, wow, they seem like they have a great marriage. They laugh together, and like, I don't have that. Or their kids seem so smart, and like, I don't think I'm doing enough for my kids, or like whatever. I feel like I just like anyone can really fall into that. And I'm curious like what your take is on kind of fighting against that, and like just some action steps that I feel like we're taking to make sure that we're being careful about not falling into comparison. My biggest example of this, I feel like, before you say, is when we were house hunting the other day. We're not moving, by the way. And wait, house hunting's not the word. When Darren and I just like to do this on date nights.
We were house window shopping.
Yes, we were house window shopping. That's a perfect example. But whenever we go on date nights, we just like to look at houses just because we like to be like, oh, we like this about this house or whatever. And of course, we're dreaming and stuff. But I think if you aren't careful, it can turn into this thing where you're like, dang, like, look at these people. They're successful and they have this house or whatever. And I was thinking back to like a year and a half ago before we were moving into this house. I used to drive to this house almost every day just because I was so excited to move in, and I was so grateful. And I was like, oh my God, we get a sunroom, and like we're sitting in that sunroom, and I just had all this gratitude that like fades over time only whenever I'm looking at what other people have. And yeah, I think that that's what brought this conversation up for me, because I was like, I never want to be in a place in life where I'm not grateful for what I have because I'm looking at what other people have and comparing it and being like, oh, they have a bigger house, or they have this, or I would love to have this, or I'd love to have a pool for the kids, or whatever it is. And I don't know, it made me not grateful for what I have. Right. And you can just be very much caught in the traps of comparison. And so all that to say, on to you.
Yeah, I mean, it could. think my take is more so, I mean, it's comparison, but I think the root for me is more so consumption than it is like, I feel like my consumption leads to me comparing. You know, like to me, that's the root of where I feel like I fall is, especially like working, we do a lot on our phones. But I told Mackenzie, I was like, for me, like I don't want to just be. I want to use my phone. I don't want to feel like I'm used by my phone. I feel like sometimes I'll catch myself just scrolling and looking at the people that I admire or get inspired by, and I'm just so like full of consumption that I'm not creating. You know, and obviously we create for a living, but like it is. I think anybody, even if it's not creating, but it's still creating more for yourself. It could be reading books. It could be actually being intentional with your family. But just I don't want my. I want to make sure like I'm expressing myself through my phone, but I'm not living my life through my phone. I think that's kind of where I've had like a good like way to phrase it or just like wrap my head around it. Because at times I see myself like on my phone, like just entertainment, whether or even just through technology, that I'm not really either creating the life I want, enjoying the life I want, or building the life I want. You know, any of those things. And then to me, when I'm not doing those things, and I'm just full of like lethargy, kind of just like watching other people's lives. That's when I feel like, damn, do I have enough? Am I enough? And that's where I feel like the trap for me comes. And so for us, well, for me particularly, it's been more just being aware. And when I feel these moments to where, you know, like, why do I just really want to consume all this? Like, I do want to stay up to date. I do want to check in, like, see what's going on in the world and people's lives. But I really want to make sure, like, my own life is what I want it to be, you know? So almost redirecting the energy. Because it's really just energy and attention. Like, where are you putting it? A lot of times when I feel like I'm comparing myself, it's like I'm putting so much energy and attention not into my own business.
Right.
Not necessarily my business, but like my own, what I got going on, what's in my hands to steward, like my family, my mind, my own
Like, it's
personal
supposed
growth.
to be inspiration. It's not supposed to be a comparison of like,
Yeah.
they have this going on or they have this thing. And it's like, I feel like all that does is just create this thing in you where you're, again, not grateful.
Yeah. And
for what
it could just become a cyclical thing where like every day kind of becomes, every day should be an adventure if you're on your own personal journey. But then if you're not, like it can become this cyclical thing where you're just looking at everybody else and that's how you live your life. Instead of like actually looking internally, like what do I want to accomplish? What do I want to do? What do I want to make time for? And I feel like that's really the key points where I've landed is it's way more fulfilling to focus on yourself. That's really like that because that's what you're chasing. You're like
That's so
chasing
true.
like a false fulfillment when you see other people living their lives. Like it makes you feel good or it makes it, I don't know, you look at them or whatever. And it can be entertaining, but true fulfillment comes in your own personal growth and journey. And you can only do that when you're focusing on yourself.
I think I really agree with that. But I also think when I find myself comparing, it's like if I think that they're better than me because of XYZ, then it's like I think I'm better than people when I have XYZ. And it's like that just you get in this trap where you think that you're better than people and you're not. Just like
Yeah.
they aren't better than you.
Yeah, that's
And
what,
it's like you have to like have like a common ground to where it's like money and status or followers or whatever it is doesn't make you better than anybody. And if you actually believe that, then that means that they're not better than you. And in the way of like, you just don't have to compare. is what
yeah.
it
Somebody
boils
said
down
the
to.
like true humility is like seeing yourself rightly. And they said it's like it's literally the mindset of like nobody's better than me and I'm better than nobody else. Like you said, like, but
Yeah.
it's both. It's like both of those things put you in the right space of like, because if you think you're inferior to somebody, that's not how God made us to be. Like nobody,
Yeah.
like even like the richest person, like if you really believe like you have your own identity in God, like you secure yourself, like you should be able to see people and be like, they're not better than me. You know,
Yeah.
they might have more.
God doesn't have favorites.
And they might have done some things that like made them successful, but like you shouldn't feel like you're just inferior. Or the opposite is true. Like you shouldn't feel like you're superior to people. Now there are things that you should feel superior over, like things like maybe the way people, you know what I'm saying, couple like it could be whatever, like I'm just thinking through like laziness, you know, I feel like I am in superior. We should be like my best self. But I think in that aspect, yeah, I think it's the find that balance of because you can't get like it can be a trap either way when you're thinking you're better than somebody or you think people are better than you because it's I don't feel like either one of those is like how you supposed to live your life.
Yeah. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Be grateful for your lane.
Yeah.
I feel like when you look at other people's lanes, it could be like, oh gosh, they're so far. Like, love that inspo.
Yeah.
But
But you miss out on your own
yeah,
journey.
but you're missing out on your lane.
Yeah.
Period.
That's
I
good.
like
That's
that.
good.
I do like that. I also think that something that I wanted to touch on for a little, I feel like you and I we both have things to say about this because we agree on this, which something that I like about Darren and I is we don't agree on everything. Like him and I have like a good balance to things where it's like we do have our different opinions, but like I don't know, we're very respectful, of course, of our opinions, but I like that we don't agree on everything because if we agreed on everything, I feel like we would not grow in certain areas. But something that I think we agree on is that, well, I posted a TikTok about, I did that trend like bacon avocado. If y'all don't know, it's you say like, you act like you're going to say bacon avocado and then slow it down and you actually say something completely different. And I was just like, just because somebody's your family doesn't mean that they, like you have to deal with their toxicity.
Yeah.
And I feel like you and I both have heard before of like, oh, well, they're family, so they're allowed to do whatever.
Right.
And I feel like you and I both agree that that is not the case. And I had some people comment on that TikTok that they wanted us to talk about it on the podcast. It's honestly a very touchy, hard subject because like even one person was like, I lost my family or lost my dad last year and it feels hard cutting off another parent when I only have one left. Clearly, I think she's insinuating that her mom is toxic or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like we should maybe touch on that in our own lives a little bit. I don't think we've ever had to like cut family off. Well,
I mean, it might create boundaries.
Yeah, but create boundaries. And like, I definitely had times with my family where I had to create distance. My dad is no longer here, but like when he was here, there were definitely some hard times that him and I faced where I had to be like, okay, this is hurting me. So I have to take a step back. And yeah, I think we should touch on that and maybe give some advice or like just kind of perspective on that because I think that could be really hard for people.
Yeah. I mean, I give like some contextual things. It'd be hard. It'd be hard. I guess I don't want to, I always say, I'm not going to name drop. I'll give like context. So I think we've had to walk through several incidences with people that are like our family members and that they may have done things or things have happened. And it can be vice versa. Maybe we've done some things that people didn't agree with. But I think the first thing is always like attempting to have a conversation. That's like always the first step, whether that's like the person directly or to somebody that you feel like can directly better relay the message or should be relaying the message to that person, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like from there, I just don't like as family, you get more grace than a normal person for sure. But then you can't abuse the grace because we family. You know, that's kind of where I am with stuff like that. It's like, yes, I'm gonna give you, if it was somebody else that I just was just dealing with as a friend, like, yeah, we probably wouldn't be cool. I wouldn't even give you as much grace to even consider us like.
Really? Our friends are like our family, though.
But yeah, I'm saying maybe an associate, maybe because our friends wouldn't even do some of the stuff that our family is like,
right,
or family, however, like people like that have done. Because I feel like it's just different. Because also I think you can't choose your family, you can choose your friends, and sometimes just abroad, sometimes the way your family might act is not how you would. If I'm trying to paint this picture, if your friends acted like your family, they wouldn't be your friends.
Right.
But your family is your family, so you don't have a choice. Like either by blood or by our decisions. Like we are together.
Yeah.
Because like my friends for sure don't act like that.
Yeah.
Or we wouldn't be friends. And so
they do get more grace, is what you're saying.
You have to give more grace because like I didn't really choose you, and I'm just like we are family, quote unquote, and we are whatever, we are locked in. But that don't just excuse you to act any type of way or do any type of thing. And I think that's where for me it gets like then you start, okay, all right, let's just create some distance, and then let's create some boundaries. And
I feel like for me and you, and also if you are a Christian, you are called to be a peacemaker. And so that's like first and foremost. I feel like we always try to be.
But peacemaker ain't a pushover.
Yes, I'm getting there.
Okay. Because
like we are called to be peacemakers. And I think sometimes people feel a lot of guilt and especially with family, where they feel like, I really want them to
be involved
and stay connected and whatever. But it gets to a point, like you said, where you can be a peacemaker without being a pushover. Like sometimes being a peacemaker is creating distance between you and this person.
Correct.
When it gets to a point where like there's been so many promises made, or like a lot of times I feel like in situations like this, there's like maybe some like alcohol abuse or drug abuse or whatever, to where it makes it really toxic, and you do need to protect your heart too.
Those extremes. But even just if if it's like you've clearly communicated with somebody, like this is how you feel about something,
Disrespect or
and it's like
dishonesty or whatever.
you've blatantly like heard what I said. We thought we came to an agreement of how we're gonna move going forward, and you don't do that.
You're being toxic.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, this is unproductive, and I just can't continue to enable or support how you're acting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think maybe the guilt is like there is a proper weight. I do think God calls us to, like, your family is part of your first ministry, and more so like your immediate people. Like some people got big families. I ain't saying all your distant cousins.
Your fifth cousin.
Yeah, it's like, bro, if he or she ain't acting right, like I'll see you when I see you. But like, people you really gotta do life with for real, like in-laws, like grandparents, like siblings, close people. Is like I do feel there's a proper way to you do want to reconcile, but at the same time you can't make decisions for other people. That's kind of where I'm at. Even if we family, is like at the same time, like, dude, he or she, like you have to make this a healthy situation,
mm-hmm.
especially as we get older. Because I'm like, I don't want my kids to be around that.
Totally.
And that's where it kind of gets to where, like, all right, or if it's even on my end, I'm like, I don't want my wife to be, it's just like, or
mm-hmm.
vice versa. So I think it's just
there is like a protective thing that comes into play whenever you get married of your husband or wife, and also especially when you have kids. Like when I had Beckham and Kaysen, now that I have them, it's a different level of like what I'll allow and what I don't allow.
Because they don't know no better.
They don't.
They just see you as like so and so, and they love whoever. Because if we allow you into our space, they trust us, so they trust you.
Yeah,
and they don't know what's it. Sometimes they don't need to know everything. But at the same time, I feel like my job is like, bro, I don't want to put that energy around the people I love, and I just don't like fake kicking it. Like I just don't like.
You need to protect your peace. You need to have boundaries, and I will say, we're not saying cut off anybody that like you have a disagreement.
Some people be quick to cut off. I'm like, don't.
That's not it.
Cut
either.
off cannot be your first resort.
I think first you have a conversation. Second, you set boundaries. Third, cut them off. I was kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean,
no, just kidding. Third, you start to have the thoughts and the conversations of like, okay, do I need to create some distance between me and this person?
And to me, I guess I never even got to the extent of fully cutting somebody off. I think it's just I just fall back. More so, I feel like that'd be more so to me.
It doesn't have to be a dramatic thing. Like,
yeah, but I think when people say cut off, like I ain't never talk.
Like block them. It's like,
yeah,
no,
it's like you like
that.
whole blood. It's more so I'm just gonna fall back.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Like, and you kind of hopefully you get the vibe. If it needs to be a direct, like when I'm hanging out. But I think I just fall back.
I'm like always scared to say anything on this podcast because just being on the internet is so like crazy these days. I feel like you cannot have any take, or like you really got to be careful about what you say. I mean, I'm not like thinking about that all the time. No, and I'm going to have a take.
Remember regardless. I said last night I was talking about something, and I was saying how lenient like your digital footprint could be.
Yeah. I
take that back. Cause it is lenient, don't get me wrong. But I saw, and it's actually went viral, but our For You pages, that's kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh.
He's doing his job. He's right.
You guys, when I say our person doing our lawn could not be closer to our mics right now.
He's getting every nook and cranny though.
Yeah, I love that for him. Thank you, sir. I wonder what he's doing by our door.
He's just blowing it.
Oh, blowing the grass. Well, that's nice because we did just wash our outdoor furniture. Yeah. I told you guys I needed to do that. I did do it. And guess what? It looks like I did it. It was pointless. But anyway.
Yeah, digital footprint. There is a big time creator that I like a lot, honestly. Like, dope guy. But I just saw some stuff resurface from him that was crazy.
Really?
Like crazy.
Because I disagree with you.
It's not like a leak. Like some people get like stuff leaked, or it's like this wasn't supposed to be on the internet. This is something this person like blatantly put on the internet.
Oh.
And I'm like he does a good job now. He wouldn't do this now, but I look back, I'm like, that is wild.
Okay.
That you put this on the internet.
After. But yeah, I disagreed with you last night when you said that. You're like, I mean, the digital footprint, like, it's kind of lenient. I was like, no, it's worse than ever, brother. But but that's not what I'm referring to. I just mean
more acceptable. Like,
sure, but like, I feel like lately everything is so people like to make everything controversial, and it's like it's okay. Just breathe. It's okay. If you're gonna be on the internet, there's gonna be things that like you disagree with, and you can scroll. I think people should scroll more often.
I think I've like compartmentalized the good and the bad. I think I just, because I'm like, I don't really, I mean, part of me, like, I do enjoy it because it is real interactions, but some of it's just like, I just post what I want to post and I'm just leave. Like, I want to, like, good or bad, like, I just, like, I'll get back on, I'll see it. Like, I used to be so inundated with, like, good or, like, either the good, I was so like, oh my gosh, or bad, I was like, oh my God. I think I just post on a post and then I get back on it later.
Yeah, it's not that I really
So
care.
I'm not really going to see y'all, like, I mean, I do appreciate it. Good, like, but the bad's like, if you disagree, I'm like, man, I'll see you.
I would much rather have people disagree with me than no one disagree with me because it means that you got something going, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's fine, but it's like if you have no one to ever disagree with you, then you probably
you're not
being honest with your life.
Correct.
But I'm just saying that because I'm like, it's just that whole conversation. I'm like, are people gonna be mad that we said that about the cutting your family off or whatever? I'm like, I'm sure someone will be, right?
Yeah,
I've said this before, but I could literally be like, the sky's blue, and people would be like, yesterday it was gray.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, go look in the mirror and fight with yourself because I'm not gonna sit and argue about the sky. Anyway, I hope that was helpful to hear about your family because I feel like I had a lot of people, agree with that. And it's definitely a hard thing. I mean, because at the end of the day, your family is your family.
Yeah.
But all that to say, I'm never going to have the take like they can do whatever they want because it's your family. I feel like that's crazy. Okay. All right. We have time for one Mackenzie's mindset before Darian has to go work out. My king, why didn't you run earlier?
Why did I run?
Yeah, you said on the phone before this podcast you were going to go on a run, which is disgusting considering it's 95 degrees. I cannot believe you would do that.
Yesterday, I would rather go to a workout class.
How are you okay after that?
Just don't be a weenie.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm too dehydrated to do that and too low on vitamin D and vitamin and iron.
More like a mental thing, but that too.
Okay, the Mackenzie's mindset for today. I've been friends with this girl for almost a decade, but as I get older and reflect, it's like she's always been in competition with me. She has a history of going after people I have been with, and as we've gotten older, the more I tell her good news, she's always happy for me, but then goes, ugh, I wish it happened to me. I don't know how to approach this. I feel like it kind of goes with like the comparison thing. Not really, but.
I blanked out.
Darian, what?
I didn't hear nothing. I was just looking at you smiling.
Basically, she's had this friend for a decade and she realized that she's like always in competition with her. Like she's like, she'll act like she's happy for her and then she'll be like, I wish that happened to me. Or she'll go after people that she likes or like something.
No, I definitely can relate for sure.
Oh, you can?
I mean, for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what does she do?
Like, what does she do in that situation?
Yeah.
I think like.
Have to address it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to address it. Especially if you. Actually, I've had this in several situations, like close friends, even to admit this stuff. I think we all can be envious of some sorts of other people. I think it's like what you do with that feeling, because it kind of goes back to what you're saying. I think I think I've had some like really close friendships, or somebody either I've addressed it or somebody else addressed it to me, where I feel like it almost makes it like easier to move forward. I think it's weird when you don't address it on either part. Like,
and then you are angry or like they're acting weird towards you, and you're like,
because it really could be something you could help them with. Like I said, the one friend it brought to me, I feel like going forward helped me encourage or affirm him in ways that I knew he was looking for validation. And then on the other end, I think it's weirder when you're the person that you can feel the weird energy or tension, and you're like, I know this person loves me because like you said, it's probably your best friend. Like not. Or
sounds like it's her best friend.
Yeah, it's like people that are close to you, like it's love, but you feel like there is something weird there, and you feel like there's off when you tell people something exciting, or if you do certain things, you feel like somebody's trying to backdoor you. So I think it really is on both ends. I feel like you should bring it either the person that you feel that way towards somebody. I think this should be a space if it's your friend or somebody close to you, you should be able to bring it up, and I think you can move in a productive way from that. Or if you're the person feeling that, I feel like it's okay to check that and be like, just ask the question like, is there, you know what I'm saying? Is there something between us that you may want to address? Or like,
yeah,
if it's a good friendship or relationship, it'll lead to like deeper depths of like, hopefully like connection or friendship.
Yeah, I agree. I think you have to have a conversation if you want to move forward. If you want to continue being friends with her, which it sounds like you do, because you cared enough to write in and you also have been friends with her for over a decade. I think you have to sit down and be honest with her and be like, hey, there are some things that I've noticed and I just want to make sure like if there's anything you need to get off your chest. And I feel like that'll bring a lot of clarity to both you and her. And she might have some pent up things against you, where she's like, yeah, it is hard for me to watch you be successful, or you have things that I want. And it's better to acknowledge it, like Darian said, because it going unsaid is just going to create a lot of weird tension. So that's our advice. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed having Darian on. I always love having his feedback and kind of going back and forth with him. And I feel like it's time that we get to spend together too, which I love. If you guys are listening on Apple or Spotify, hello, I just got a frog in my throat. You guys can follow along on there. And then we are almost to 40,000. I've been saying that for so long because it's been going slow, but I'm actually doing a giveaway right now. So if you guys subscribe, you guys will be entered to win a bunch of my favorites. So like, for example, I'm doing jewelry, makeup, my favorite protein, etc. I did like a whole like spreadsheet on my Instagram of what I'm giving away, but go subscribe and you will be answered. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Not Everybody Needs a Podcast. Goodbye.